my god, they're gonna miss the train. Ron gets the bright idea to fly his dad's car to Hogwarts. They finally come to a stop after they crash right into a big old tree. Hey guys! I am Charlotte the Starlet. These are my girls, Angel and Glitter, and this is my little boy Seth. Today we're going to be reacting to Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling. Now, since I am a mystery/thriller writer, I don't just react, I review. And the way I do it is simple. If I like something, I add a point, starting from last video's total, and if I don't, I take one off. Right, let's jump in. They all meet at Flourish and Box to buy their new books. As they approach the shop, they see a sign up in the window that says, Gilderoy Lockhart will be signing copies of his autobiography, Magical Me, today. God, it says that Gilderoy Lockhart was seated at a table surrounded by large pictures of his own face, all winking and flashing dazzling white smiles at the crowd. Mr. Weasley drops the cauldron of books and throws himself at Mr. Malfoy. So, Harry and the Weasleys are prepping to go to Hogwarts. Wow! All hell breaks loose as everyone scrambles all over the house, getting all their bits and pieces together. So as everyone is packing up, Harry wonders how 8 people, 6 trunks, 2 owls and a rat are gonna fit into the Weasleys' Ford Anglia, which ain't very big. But you know what Mr. Weasley does? He pulls Harry to the side, opens the boot of his car, and shows him that he's done a little bit of magic to expand the size of the boot so that everything and everyone will fit. And after he does, he's like, not a word to Molly, Mrs. Weasley. Like, that is bold after she chewed him out for enchanting the car to make it fly. Bruh, it's not only the boot. Mr. Weasley messed with the car so that it looked completely fine and normal from the outside, but inside, instead of just having enough space for 3 people in the back, there is enough space for Harry, Ron, Fred, George, and Percy in the back. Meanwhile, the front of the car had been stretched so that Mr. and Mrs. Weasley, as well as Ginny, could all fit in it. Meanwhile, Mrs. Weasley doesn't suspect a thing. Honestly. She's just like, Muggles really do know more than we give them credit for, huh? Oh my days. Okay, so when they finally get on the move, after only 5 minutes, they screech to a halt because George had forgotten his filibuster fireworks. Then on attempt number 2, after they get a little further, they have to return again so that Fred can go and get his broomstick. And again! This time, they just about get to the motorway only to hear Ginny shriek and realize that she's forgotten her diary. So yet again, they have to go all the way back home so they can get it. Oh my days. I would be beyond vexed. If my kids did this, to be honest, I wouldn't have much room to talk. Because I have a bit of a reputation myself for being forgetful and absent-minded. Anyway, so after Ginny gets her diary, they are running very late. And no one is happy about it. Wow! Arthur! Mr. Weasley is seriously pushing his luck today. When they finally get on their way, he tries to bargain with Mrs. Weasley to let him fly them to the train station. He tries to come up with excuses like, no one will see, or we're running late, the car has an invisibility booster, but Mrs. Weasley ain't having none of it. Okay, so eventually they get to King's Cross Station at 11:15. Oh damn. By the time they get to platform 9 3/4, they only have 5 minutes to get onto the train. To get there on time, they need to have at least one person go through the barrier every minute, whilst also not alerting any muggles. Why am I nervous for them? Wait, what? Harry watches most of the Weasleys get through the barrier fine. However, when it's Harry and Ron's turn to get onto platform 9 3/4, it doesn't let them. Instead of going right through the barrier, they crash right into it. Oh my days. So when they crash into the wall, all their luggage on their trolleys go flying, and Harry and Ron both fall over. But not only that, it was a loud crash. At this point, several people around them have noticed, including a guard. Like, the guard tries to confront them, and fair play to Harry, because on the spot he comes up with the excuse that he just lost control of his trolley. I don't know if I'd be able to. I wouldn't know what to say. Aww. So during the crash, Hedwig falls over in her cage as well, and she's so upset by what happened that she makes enough of a scene for muggles to start muttering to themselves about animal cruelty. Like, seriously, it's not like Harry meant to crash, right? Oh my god, oh my god, they're gonna miss the train. Harry tries once again, more subtly this time, to go through the barrier. Like, he pushes his trolley with all his stuff on it against the barrier, but the same thing happens. He isn't able to get through. My god, that's it. Train's gone. Ron is really starting to worry now. He's thinking all kinds of stuff, like, what if Mum and Dad can't get back through, or what do we do now, or worrying about the fact that they don't even have any muggle money. Even if they did though, I doubt you could get to Hogwarts with normal muggle money. Not with our pounds and pence. Like, let me actually think. Could they not use broomsticks or anything? Or a taxi? I don't know what taxi would be willing to drive people up to Scotland or wherever Hogwarts is. Like, travelling within London is bad enough already most of the time. Oh my days. The thought of having to pay for a taxi ride up to the hills of Scotland or whatever, it's stressing me out. No way. No. Surely not. Surely not. As they're still trying to figure out what to do, Ron gets the bright idea to fly his dad's car to Hogwarts. Fly it themselves. 2 12-year-old boys. I mean, okay. It's not like it would be the first time the Weasley boys have flown the car. That is how they got Harry to their house. It wasn't Ron driving then though, was it? Oh really? Apparently, even underage wizards are allowed to use magic if they're having a real emergency. Well, Ron is definitely Arthur's son. No doubt about that. Oh my goodness. no. When Ron suggests this, it turns Harry's fear into excitement. And that just reminds me of a term that my younger sister came up with to describe when people start kind of acting out, either because their friends are or to go along and fit in with their friends. She calls it being a brat by proximity. Ron is making Harry a brat by proximity. Oh my god, I love that term. I love it. My sister comes up with a lot of good terms like that. Another thing she said to me is that she can read me like a pamphlet instead of like a book. Because apparently it ain't hard to tell what's going through my head at any given moment. But that's partly why I do these videos, you know. People say I'm expressive and entertaining. So, anyway, right. So, Harry and Ron get back to the car, put all their stuff in it, then they sit in the front and Ron presses a tiny silver button on the dashboard. Oh, that's what Mr. Weasley was talking about. When Ron presses that button, the whole car becomes invisible, which also makes Harry and Ron invisible. Oh no. Oh, this description is freaking me out. Because it says that Harry could feel the car vibrating. He could hear the engine of it. And he could feel his hands on his knees and his glasses on his nose. But all he could actually see was a bird's eye view of the street below them. Imagine basically being suspended in mid-air by yourself with nothing holding you up. That's what this is like for Harry right now. That must be so weird. Damn. Then in no time at all, they go from hovering just above the street they were on to looking down at the whole of London underneath them. It says, the ground and the dirty buildings on either side fell away, dropping out of sight as the car rose. In seconds, the whole of London lay smoky and glittering below them. Sounds about right. Sounds like London, for sure. I don't know about that glittering part, though. Like, we are pretty well known for our pollution levels. I swear, like, at the beginning of the year, we surpassed the maximum limit for air pollution in less than a week of the whole year. It was either this year or last year, I think. I'm pretty sure. And by that I mean either 2021 or 2020. Because honestly, I don't know when this is going up. Like, this could be my first video of 2022, for all I know. Anyway. Wait, what? Uh-oh. What do you mean, uh-oh, Ron? The car's invisibility booster is faulty. They're not invisible anymore. This is such good writing. Like, in stories, you need as much to go wrong as possible. And J.K. Rowling is doing a pretty good job of this in this scene so far. Not only did they have to go back home multiple times, but then they were late. Then Harry and Ron couldn't get through the barrier. They missed the train. And just when they thought they figured out a solution, turns out it's actually a liability. So Ron tries a couple more times to make the car invisible again, but each time he does, it wears off in seconds. So Ron pulls a very dangerous, risky move, and he floors the accelerator, which sends the car directly upwards, literally vertically, straight through the clouds. I'm assuming they're using the clouds to try and hide, you know, to stop for any muggles from seeing a flying car in broad daylight. Oh, but now they don't know what way to go. Right, so Ron decides to quickly dip down beneath the clouds again, just to get their bearings and then come back up. Ooh. I love that. When they do dip beneath the clouds, they managed to find the Hogwarts Express. And it says it was streaking along below them like a scarlet snake. Oh my god. Mwah. Alright, so once they figure out the direction the train is going, they go back into the clouds and decide to check on the train about every half hour. Oh my days. These descriptions are so good! Like when they go back above the clouds, it says it was a different world. The wheels of the car skimmed the sea of fluffy cloud, the sky a bright, endless blue under the blinding white sun. Oh my days. Man, I wish I could write like this. I mean, people tell me I can, but I feel like my stuff ain't up to this standard. Oh snap. Ron just brought up a problem I hadn't even considered, since I was in such awe, and I still am, honestly. Yeah. Although the view they have up there is stunning, they have to watch out for planes. Imagine having that as a problem. Okay, thankfully, they don't actually run into any, and for the most part, Harry and Ron are having a blast up there. At this point, London is far behind them. It says it's replaced with neat green fields, which gave way in turn to wide purplish moors, villages with tiny toy churches, and a great city alive with cars like multicolored ants. Seems like they're running into another issue. Like, okay, so at the beginning of the journey, it was great. Harry and Ron were enjoying themselves and were taken aback by the views, but now it's been hours and they're beginning to get uncomfortable and thirsty, sweaty, tired, and the fun is wearing off a little bit. But on top of that, after they do another check on the train, when Ron tries to return up above the clouds again, the car's engine begins to whine like it's kind of dying. Oh my days. And yet another issue is the fact that it's getting dark now. The sun has set and the stars are beginning to pop out. At least Ron thinks that they must be close by now. So, despite the fact that the car is clearly struggling, Ron pushes it for a while longer. Oh, thank goodness! The next time they check on the train, not only can they see it, but they can also see the silhouette of Hogwarts Castle in the background. Despite that they are so close, the car can't make it much further. It starts to shudder and splutter and loses speed fast. Then the engine groans. Damn, there are even jets of steam shooting out of the engine. It just about makes it over Hogwarts Black Lake, but then the engine dies completely. But they're still falling straight towards a wall of the castle. Oh snap. They miss the wall by inches and glide right over the greenhouses, the vegetable patches, and the lawns. Ron lets go of the steering wheel, whips out his wand and desperately starts whacking the car's dashboard with it, yelling, "Stop! Stop!" But it doesn't do anything. They finally come to a stop after they crash right into a big old tree. Ooh. It says that Harry has a golf ball sized lump on the side of his head from when his head hit the windscreen. That could be a concussion. Harry asks Ron if he's okay, but all he does is hold up his wand, which is almost completely snapped in two. Wait, what? Are you kidding me? After all of that, something else happens. That's not the end of it. It says that something hit the side of the car with the force of a charging bull. And then another hit, just like that one, comes from directly above. So when Harry looks outside, oh my days. So a branch as thick as a python smashes into the windshield. They're being attacked by the tree they crashed into. Oh my days. It's gonna crash right through it. Get out of there, you guys! Oh my gosh, it's legit like the tree's punching the car. Ron does try and run out of the car, but the tree just knocked him back into the car with an uppercut. Oh, thank goodness. Right as Ron pretty much accepts his fate, that he and Harry are done for and are gonna die right there on Hogwarts grounds, the car comes back to life and Harry instructs it to reverse, which it does. All while the tree is still trying to kill them. Wow. The car is done, bruh. It's had enough. Like, once it gets Harry and Ron out of the tree's reach, all on its own, the car flings open its boot, throws out their luggage from it, then opens its doors and tips Harry and Ron out of it. What an attitude! So, once everything is out of the poor bastard car, it just takes off and zooms away into the night. Right. Anyway, that's where I'm gonna leave it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give the like button and the notification bell a little kiss. And subscribe to become a Starlet. Don't forget to follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram and Tumblr. And if you have read something that you want me to react to, let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys later. Bye!